Okay, it looks like I'm live, so hello and welcome everybody to the stream that wasn't going to be a stream, then I decided to make it a stream and started streaming stream. You will notice, for those of you who have watched any of my past streams, that I have just started a new, not career mode, but science mode. That is because I realized after my past few streams, I mentioned this last time, that I'm actually secretly a 5-year-old, and Kerbal is the equivalent of playing with toys. So I thought I would do something a little bit different than I have been. I've been pretty much exploring the mod planet Cerulean for the past few streams, and I'm really happy with how that's going, and I will be getting back to that. But I thought I would do something. It's sort of a new mini-series. I'm playing around with the idea. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, but I was watching some space documentaries and looking at some of the items in my mod list, and realized that part of why I like Kerbal is because, especially being a writer, is I have a rather vivid imagination. So I thought, why not sort of do my own, I guess, genesis of the Kerbal space program, not the game, the little Kerbal, their actual program, and sort of just do an imaginary fun science series where I start with a program sort of like it was, I guess, the space program was in the 40s, 50s, and 60s in America, where everything's just really starting fresh, and I'm just going to not go by any official contracts like in career mode or anything like that, and just sort of, play around with some of the little rockets and eventually build to doing bigger missions, and just sort of use my imagination and have fun building one step at a time, not necessarily trying to mimic the space program in America or throughout the world, but just to basically have fun and sort of use my imagination to create my own little mini missions, starting with super simple things and collecting science all the while. So you will notice that I am in science mode because I do want to actually have to collect science and build on that. So that's where I'm starting. Like I said, I don't know how long this is going to go, how many episodes I want to do, or how it will be received, but this is why I like Kerbal. It's very much an imagination-based game that just sort of lets you run wild, and I thought, why not just create something where I sort of imagine that our little Kerbal mates here are starting a brand new space or aerospace and, astronaut program, and go from there. So I guess without further ado, I'm going to look and see what parts I have and what sort of science I can do for our very first launch. So since Kerbals are pretty much, unless you kill them in a fiery explosion, they tend to, they tend to live forever. So I'm not going to say this is set in a specific time. I'm just going to say somehow they suddenly found out that they have parts and they want to go exploring space and the planet. And that's what we're going to do. Is I'm going to come into this as though I'm a little Kerbal who has everything's fresh and new. I don't know, we haven't explored the planet, since that's appropriate, since there is only one little space station, or one space center on the whole planet. We're going to explore and see what's in the planet, and just basically have fun redoing everything that I've come to love with Kerbal. So I think the first thing I want to do is take this little, that is very, very tiny probe core. I want to, obviously I don't have funds on because I'm not in career mode. Make sure that doesn't have any delta V or anything. Good. That just has science. Okay. I don't have funds on, but I do want to keep this, Kerbal realistic, and try and keep the cost of parts down as much as possible, just to sort of make it a realistic progression. Is that really the smallest that I have? So that's actually, I know what I can do. Never mind, I can't do that. I was going to say I can use the scale on that because I do have the tweak scale mod installed, but evidently you can't with that. So let me see if I can't take one of these and reduce the scale just a little bit. That's a bit too small. There we go. That looks more or less right. So yeah, that's the gist of what I'm going to be doing here, is trying to be inexpensive and basically start over everything that I've been doing. I started playing Kerbal on the PS4 last year, so I've put many, many hours into it, and I thought it would be fun just to completely start over and sort of go through this as though I'm doing everything for the first time. I don't want a solid fuel, obviously, since this is liquid and oxidizer. Let's see what we can't find. That's solid. Solid. The Aerobee motor might actually be a good one. I think that's... How much does that cost? Where does it... Oh, 95. Yeah, that's super cheap. And let's see what that does to our thrust away. Yeah, that's already 13.5. So this is the very first little experiment sounding rocket that the Kerbal Space Center is ever going to launch. They have done some tests and figured out that you do need little fins just for stability. So we are going to throw some fins on there, and I will be shrinking those down because I won't be shrinking those down because they can't be shrunk. Oh man, that gives you an idea of how tiny this little sounding rocket is. Let me drop the scale significantly. Oops. See if I can't drop it a little bit more. What's a good size? That actually looks pretty good. I wonder if I can attach these to the engine. Yeah, I actually can. So this is... Let's see if this has anything extended antenna. Yes, so this can transmit. So the idea is that with this little sounding rocket, that we want to see how high we can get with just one little launch and transmit some data before this crashes back into... Why is that not working? Crashes back into the ground. So let me see. So our first ever sounding rocket, it's only got 400 meters per second of delta V. It's super cheap. You know what? Actually, I'm going to put just a couple more fuel tanks on just to give us a little bit more delta V. Because those cost all of what? One Kerbal buck? Yeah, one Kerbal dollar. So I'd say that's rather cost effective. Yeah, that's our little sounding rocket that is barely more than a backyard rocket kit. We are not going to be endangering many Kerbal lives in this. So without further ado, let's do the very first launch of any sort of rocket. I'm not going to be starting with any planes. The logical step or logical progression might be do some planes. Oh, it does have SAS, cool. Planes before I... yeah, that tipped. I should mention that I thought I turned... I wanted this to be fairly realistic. Okay, when I say realistic, I mean Kerbal realistic. And I thought I had, yeah, reverting flights. I don't want to revert flights. I do want to allow for quick saves and quick loads just because that's more of a computer and, you know, that's not so much a realism issue as it is a what am I trying to say? It makes it ease of life, I guess, when you're actually playing the game. So I don't want to be able to revert flights, but I do want a quick save. And obviously, let's go ahead and recover that because that's not what was supposed to happen. Yep, our little rocket tipped over because I think the bottom of that, the rocket motor itself, is kind of rounded. Maybe I'm just going to have to immediately launch this really quickly and see what sort of science we can get. So I didn't lose anything because I was able to recover that. So let's see what we can't do quickly this time. I'm actually going to put the thrust limiter on because the thrust to weight on that is 11. That's absolutely massive. So I'm going to hit the old make fire button as soon as I start so it doesn't tip over. And I don't want it to go, you know, a 15G, 20G acceleration. So that should be good. I do need to remember to extend the antenna when I get to our Apple apps to do a little bit of science. So let's try and relaunch this and hurry and hit the go button before it tips over again. Like I said, I'm surprised it has SAS given that it's a super cheap little probe core, but it does. So hit it. Oh my gosh. Okay, turning through. Yeah, turning. Wow, that's oh my. I think we're having some physics issues. That was pretty funny though. We did slow down enough. I don't know what was going on there, but let's extend the antenna. I should have this science here now, right? Yeah, science here now. So let's hurry and do a temperature scan, and we are going to transmit that. Geiger counter, let's see. Radiation levels are normal because I guess that makes sense. We are in a fairly normal place. So let's transmit that. Oh, it says I can do another temperature scan. I don't use science here now very much, so I'm not entirely familiar with what everything does, or what everything means, I should say. So let me try another temperature scan, and it says that, let's see, is there any, no, it doesn't say that I can transmit any data, so I'm not going to go ahead and waste time with that. And, oh, we are coming back. Well, I think we did get some science out of that. I'm not sure, because that accelerated much, much, much quicker than I was anticipating. How many G's did we pull on that? 14, yeah. Well, that's right what I thought. I was thinking, what, 15 to 20? Oh, that was... I don't know what happened to the physics. That was hilarious that it started separating itself. But let's go back to the Space Center and see if I actually did get any science from that. I'm not really sure. That went a little faster than I thought it would. So let me see if I got anything out of that. We will be recovering that. Like I said, I'm not doing funds, but I want to keep this as Kerbal realistic as I can when it comes to funds. And, you know, I'm going to keep an eye on the funds to make sure that I'm trying to go as efficient as possible, just for realism and fun's sake. So R&D, did I get any? Yay, I got 14 little science bits. So what do we want to start with? Let's see what sort of parts. I haven't actually done a science or career mode on the PC since I've really started playing. So I'm not sure how the mod parts are. The last time I did it was on the PS4. Oh, hey, Padre-san. Kerbal soup in the pot due to the acceleration. Hey, Padre-san, how are you? It's been a little while. I've missed your streams. I always get notifications for them after I've gone to bed or before I wake up. So I haven't actually been able to catch your streams lately. So how have you been? But yes, Kerbal soup. Yeah, there weren't any Kerbals in it, so it didn't actually turn it into Kerbal soup. It turned it into science soup, which is a little bit better than green soup. So what I was saying is that I haven't actually done a career or science mode since the PS4, which is the stock game. So I'm not sure how the science mode adds new parts, if it just sort of lumps them, you know, or what it does. So I'm sort of learning how this goes. I guess I can afford both of them since I just started. I might as well go from there. And that's about all I can do for this point. So let's go see what that opened up and what sort of mission we want to do next. I am glad you were doing well. Yeah, like I said, I haven't been able to catch any of your streams. Ooh, fizzed. Over fizzed. My fizzy beverage decided to fizz on me. So looks like I wet myself, but that's okay. Just a little water. So did that unlock any new bits that we can use? Yeah, I still don't have any aviation-based experiments, so I don't want to, or I can't really go the route of doing some planes. I do have a lot of really cool ideas for planes in mind later. So the first rocket, I didn't even catch how high that went. So I suppose we need to... I'm going to use this Aerobee nose cone. I like the way that looks, and I think it fits with... I think I do have some actual Aerobee parts. Little small... No. So this should have onboard science with it, if I remember correctly. So let's take a look here. What do we have? Antenna type... servo SAS science experiment. Okay, log temperature, log gravity data, and probe report. So it does actually have a sort of a suite of features on it. So let's see how high we can get this thing. And no, I won't be using that Aerobee engine because that, unless that's the only thing I can use, pretty much destroyed physics. It was a little scary. So let's see what we've got here. I'm going to sort by size this time. Kick motor. So that is solid. I don't want solid. I want to use the liquid fuel, obviously. What is that? Little vernier engine on the... Yeah, neither have I. That's why I'm sort of starting over, and I'm imagining that I'm living in little Kerbal land here. I was saying earlier that I really like... Kerbal basically makes you feel like you're 5 years old again and you're playing with toys. And I just sort of like to create and imagine in my mind these scenarios that, you know, the Kerbonauts are just starting their life looking into space, and what's above beyond them and I just want to sort of take a fresh look at everything. And I've never done a science mode, so I figured that would be a good way to go ahead and do it without having to worry too much. I don't like the contracts. I'm going to be honest. I don't like the contracts in career mode because sometimes they get really, really annoying. And I know there are mods that, let's see what this will give us. No, that's not quite enough thrust away. I know that there are mods that will give you better contracts, but I mean, some of them, it takes some of the fun out of it because you have to do such weird contracts sometimes that, you know, I'm not a real big fan. Are you talking about a mod, the Estes mod? Because I don't know. Hey, there we go. That's actually good thrust to weight. And that gives us 757 meters per second of delta V. That should, let's see what sort of height we can reach with that. Estes rockets. Is that a parts pack you're talking about? Because I don't know exactly which parts packs. I could look into that, but I can mention a few of the ones that I'm using. I do know that I have B9 Aerospace and Space Y parts installed, if that's what you're talking about. That actually looks pretty good, and it's for 744 meters per second. No, it's actual kit that... Oh! Well, I feel dumb. I used to be really into model rockets when I was younger. I don't know why I stopped doing that. A little bit before I was married. Actually, let's call this the sounding rocket too. I think it was when I started college and I got busy writing my book that I just sort of put things like that aside. But honestly, that's something... We have a huge park just almost literally... I know literally is used too much, but when I mean that, it's the actual term. Across the street, a huge park. Yeah, send me a link. I do have links enabled. I'd love to look at that. We have a huge park that's just perfect for something like that. People always do airplanes and drones and stuff over there, so launching rockets would be perfect. I'm going to click the link really quick over here, so that's why I'm not doing anything on Kerbal. I'm going to favorite this, and I will take a look at it. I'm bookmarking it on Chrome. I'm going to take a look at it after the stream, so thank you for sending that. Yeah, I would love to get back into that. That is such a cool thing. I love watching people do it. You know, I love watching every single rocket launch I can on TV, so something like that. I'm assuming you're a hobbyist or an enthusiast with something like that, right? Okay, don't tip over, don't tip over, don't tip over. So this is sounding rocket number 2 for our little Kerbal mates. Oh, geez. Do you have YouTube videos of doing anything like that? Because I know there are a lot of YouTube videos. Don't tip, don't tip. Cool. A lot of YouTube videos of, you know, people doing model rocket launches and things like that. So let's activate the engine, but not give it any thrust. So we can do a temperature scan. Let's see. And we do get science from that. Cool. Temperature readings are quite literally nominal. Well, why else wouldn't they be? We will transmit that. Let's do a gravity scan because, you know, gravity, why not? Let's see what it says. After reading the manual fuel times, the command team is able to take an accurate reading of the local gravity. So, ooh, look at that, transmitting it. I am going to be transmitting most of the science because I can, and I can keep reusing, obviously, these scans when I do it that way, even though it gives me much, much less. So transmitting that data. So we already have some science. So let's do a little... Oh, waiting for it. What does that say? Received gravity scan. Okay, so both have been transmitted. And it looks like we are ready to do our sounding rocket launch. So let's give a little Kerbal countdown of 3, 2, 1. Hey, look at that. Nice little, this is much, much more controllable than our little nightmare first launch. So let's see how we can get this thing. And we do want to land this over the water because maybe some of the parts will survive as opposed to, you know, destroying everything catastrophically like last time. Oh, why are we tipping? What's going on? Why are we tipping? We've already started going down again, which isn't necessarily the best. Hurry and scan. Oh, we can't do it. Yeah, well, that's quite literally a bust. And we didn't get to save any of it. Yeah, nothing survived. So what happened there? I don't know why that tipped. Let me actually check to see how this is weighted. So yeah, you did it more in past years. If you have any videos or anything that you used to do like that on YouTube, let me know, because I always love to watch videos like that. Center event. How much does that engine weigh? Let me see what's going on here. So that's the Aerobee tank. That weighs gravity. Yeah, and evidently physics and air, they're all really angry. So that weighs 0.14. How much does our engine weigh? Did I pick like a super massive heavy engine? Which one is it? It's the S592. No, that weighs the same amount. What happens when I... Huh. Not sure why that happened. Maybe I need a little more thrust and just hurl it a little bit higher. I don't know. How much does that weigh? I'm guessing that the nose cone is super, super light. 0.01 tons. Yeah, that's a little light. Well, let's do one more, and I'm actually going to increase the scale on the fins to give us a little bit more stability. I'm going to do full size on that. I know that... Oop. No, I don't mean 400%. I'm going to do about 120. So I know that looks a little awkward, but we still have a good thrust to weight and delta V. So let's go for round number 3 to see how high we can get this, and if we can actually successfully launch it without gravity, air, physics, and everything else being really, really mean. But we did get a little tiny bit of science from it. Okay, let's turn our SAS on, because for some reason this has it, and let me turn science here and now on so that we can see what else we can do, and let's see if this doesn't help. Yeah, the acceleration's a lot less, obviously, but as long as it's... I'm not going to try and do a turn this time. I'm just going to go straight up, see how high we can get, and if there's any other experiment that we can do. Has a nice little plume effect, I must say. I like the way that looks a lot, especially from here. That looks really cool. That actually reminds me a lot of a model rocket launch, now that we're talking about that. Yeah, this isn't going to get us very high. I don't think we're going to have too much in the way of new science from this. Let's see. We are already losing speed. Yeah, there's nothing that we can transmit. So how do I cancel that? Nothing we could learn from that, except that it did work and it's coming straight back down, isn't it? Yeah, obviously there's no parachute on this. At least I don't think there is. Oh, wow, dang it. We could have... Okay, apparently it is made out of bouncy materials. Low gravity data. There were experiments in it. Well, I guess we learned that gravity wins all the time. My bad. Okay, well, back to the... actually, let's go back to the Space Center and use just a few of our little science nuggets to see what else we can unlock. To see if we can't build something a little bit larger. Or safer, I guess. Since that was basically... Gene's son went out and made a model rocket that went maybe, I don't know, 1,000 feet into the air. That's pretty much the extent of what we just did. So that wasn't really that... Oh, wow, we don't have... No, we didn't get anything from that. We have to be a little more creative. So let's be a little more creative to see what we can build that's a little bit larger than Gene Kerman's backyard rocket, which that pretty much is. Okay, let's take a look and see what we've actually got here. I know I do have a few... Yes, I do have some larger fuel tanks. I do not want to do any manned... Try anything manned, because you don't go from backyard rocket to orbiting Kerbin in one step. So let's see, which one should we use here? That's the... I'm going to do it by size. That's a really cool looking probe core. I don't know which part pack that's from, but it's basically the... I'm going to call it the beehive. Launched an egg to 1,500 feet. It came back scrambled. Well, I guess that's a much better way to make your breakfast than just putting it in a pan. So I guess that's a win-win. You had breakfast and science. Okay, yeah. Or I guess it might have even been hard-boiled, depending on your fuels, right? Okay, I'm going to use the probe core, that little tiny beehive probe core. And let's see what we have. Do we have any coupling? Oh, we already do have some decoupling. And let's see if we have any parachutes yet. Oh, we do have parachutes. Okay, let's try and recover this. Let's check size out. That's kind of cool looking. I know that we could probably use one of the round ones that would look a little bit better, but I like the aerodynamics of that, and I just think that looks fun, so I'm going to do that. And let's see if we can't... this does have an antenna. That's really good. I'll have to remember to stick that out. So we do want to save everything. So let's put a decoupler on there. So this is going to be a little bit larger rocket. So that website link that you just sent me, like I said, I haven't taken a look at that yet. But what sort of supplies and stuff do they sell? I mean, what level of home rocketry can I expect out of that when I take a look at it? Not quite the right size. That's not quite the right size either. I want to try and match the size. Yeah, the website you sent, I mean, what's like the upper limits of what they provide? Level 1 to advanced, okay. Did I already try this one? That doesn't quite look right, does it? In this, whoop, that's not quite right either. Yeah, the arrow B just looks a little too small. Maybe I can just use the scale, yeah. Let's see if I can't get it to match perfectly. Actually, that might have been why I had some issues last time, was with the scale. I remember what it separated, so... maybe I'll just have to use the arrow B. I mean, that doesn't look too bad, does it? I wonder if we if that would be too unstable if we did 2 of those. And then for our engine, we want something with a little oomph. Cool. Thrust to weight, yeah, that actually will look good. And let's put some fins on there. Let's see what sort of fins we have. Control. Hey, that one actually has control on it, as opposed to the other one that I was using. It looks a little something. I don't know. Looks something, but I think it'll work. So let's see what sort of science we can attach to this. I think a mystery goo container would be a little bit large. It does have a thermometer built in, didn't it? Let's see. RTF, ready to fly, some assembly required. Yeah. The assembly is part of the fun, though, right? It would be cool to get one large enough that I could stick my GoPro onto it and actually film it. That would be really cool. I've never done anything like that, since obviously, since GoPros weren't even a thing when I stopped doing model rocketry. So what's this? A cardboard box stuffed with... Ooh, we like cardboard science boxes. That shouldn't make it... That shouldn't mess with the weight too much. So what's the difference here? Aero, let's see, engineering test bay. I wonder if these are different science packages, because that would actually be cool to put one on each. I've never seen these before. I don't know where they came from, but I think that's actually pretty cool. I love the little, the way they look too. They look like science lunch boxes, actually. Just little lunch box of science. Try and get them even so I don't have any weight distribution problems. I'm gonna go ahead and throw 4 on there just because I think it might work. And unfortunately, real life model rockets don't have mech jeb to help you either. So this has actually quite a bit of delta V, so let's see how high we can get this. So what should I call it? The sounding rocket 3? 3. Let's save that. Let me drop the fins down just a tiny bit. There. That motor, I have a feeling that it's going to tip as soon as I launch it, but that is okay. Is there anything else in here? Geiger counter. I don't think this has a Geiger counter built in, so let me see. Yeah, the Geiger counter is tiny. We should be okay with that. And I'm actually going to weight it, put it on the east end so that it sort of naturally wants to tip that way. So there's our slightly above model rocket grade model rocket for science with our little lunch boxes attached to it. Let's see if it's going to work. Actually, staging. Good thought, because we know what happens when we don't stage properly. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, so I will definitely check that out and see what... My birthday is coming up too, so I can actually ask my wife for some model rocket stuff if I find anything on there that would be... Oh, it's going... Go! Oh, it was tipping. I can actually ask her for some model rocket stuff if I find anything on there, so that's actually really good timing. Oh, we need our science on, don't we? Okay, Geiger counter. Transmit. Go. I think, it has to open up the antenna, but I don't think we're going to have enough force here aerodynamically to break it off. Okay, aeronautical. Inoperable after transmitting. Okay, so let's wait until we get a little bit higher, since it sounds like all 4 of those are inoperable after you transmit it. We're actually getting pretty high. Look at our altitude, 5,000. Wow, we got this really, really high up there, didn't we? Geiger counter, okay. How do I close this? Okay, let's see. Geiger counter. Hurry and do the warning. Is it transmitting? Okay. Why can't we do the error? Why can't we do these? Inoperable. Okay, we'll transmit it. Yes. Let's keep going. No usable extend the antenna. What happened to the antenna? You saw it come out, didn't you? I know it was there. What did they break off? That must have been what happened. Is it must have broken off. Let's see. Geiger powered. Oh, we ran out of power. Okay, well, I guess we used too much power. Yep. Okay, lesson learned. You need extra power. Whoops, my bad. Okay, how do I actually... There we go. Get rid of that. Well, yeah, it's completely dead above the water. Not quite dead in the water yet. Yeah, I did... How much charge does that have? Only 60. I'll have to remember more electric charge or fewer experiments, because it does take a lot of power to transmit. Did we actually even get any science out of that? I don't know how much, if any, science we got. I think we got, what, like 5, 6, 7, maybe? I really like these tall, slender aerobie. No electricity means no shoots. Yep. But luckily we did transmit, so I don't actually need to recover this to get the science. So, yay! Anyway, I really love the thin sort of aerobie style rockets. I don't know, I just visually they're very appealing to me. I like these little sounding rocket style rockets. I hope those question marks don't mean that there's a way I can save this and that you're typing this and I'm not going to read it before it crashes. What was our oh, it doesn't show it now. And we are falling, and we're about to hit, and I don't think we'll be able to salvage anything because we're actually not going too quick, but that's probably well beyond the tolerance for all the parts. Well beyond the tolerance for all the parts. Let's see what happened. It doesn't say anything about... Yeah, it doesn't say what happened with the electricity or anything. That's okay. Let's take a look. Highest altitude achieved, 7,000, so 7,500 meters. So we got almost 25,000 feet. That's pretty good. I will say that was mostly successful. Return to vehicle. All part, yeah, well, again, no Kerbals on them, so we're A-okay. It only cost some bits and bobs as opposed to actual Bob Kerman. Let me see if I did get any science from that, and I think we are going to have to go a little bit bigger so that we can put some electricity on there. Since those little... Yeah, we did. Okay, what do we want to do? The little aerobie parts, I think, are too small to put any batteries on, unless there's a really small battery I don't know of. I think that would cause them to... the weight issues. So let's see. We have aerodynamics, which... Another probe core, fairing base, winglet... survivability. Yeah, that's ironic, right? We earned survivability by crashing our rocket into the water. That's how all survivability things are learned. Let's see. Radiator, I'm not going to need that. Yeah, general rocketry. Why don't we do this to add a few more engines? This is all of our science, but I do think we need a few more of those parts. And I do want to make a beeline for the what is it called? Just like the plane equipment, because I really like the idea of doing slow, different, almost X program, US X program style, learning one step at a time, getting a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit faster with your planes each time. So I do. Yeah, I know the barometer will give us extra science, but if I get a battery, I can use all that we have. So that's why I went that route. So let's take. Oh, that's a cool probe core, isn't it? But I do want to test this by size. So I will be using the same probe core. But I do want to do some plane tests and sort of records. So I do want to go the aerospace route as soon as I can, because I just love the idea of slowly pushing the boundaries of flight. I really like that idea to eventually developing an SSTO. So I do want to go that way as soon as I can. But we do need to learn a little bit more about what's up in the air, since every time we try to do that, we crash catastrophically. Oh, we need the parachute, don't we? And this time we'll make sure we have enough electricity. So let's actually see what we have for that. Mini battery pack and solar antenna. I'm going to place it on the actual... Oh wait, that's where the antenna come out, don't they? Let's see. I want to make sure I don't cover the antenna with the batteries. Let's close that back up. That should give us how much electricity? 20. That's not a lot, but I guess that's all we have. So we have to accept that. Okay, let's get. Ooh, yeah. We have a lot more options now. I don't think any of those are. Ooh, what's that? That's okay. That's not pretty. It's giant rocket turd brown, but. Oh, hey, White Guardian. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to turn this from terrible brown color to bright red. So, White Guardian, let's see, okay. Okay, then never mind. I will fill you in just a little bit. So let's put an engine here. I don't want to use the Aerobee engine that I was using, but don't install Evolution. I have not. That's why I'm actually doing something other than the Cerulean and Evolution stuff. So Padre, I don't know. I'm not installing. So Padre, the White Guardian, I don't know if you've caught any of my past streams on YouTube, Padre, but the White Guardian here, he is the one that created the Cerulean Planet pack, including the moon Disparia, which is named after my book series. He's the one that put all that effort into it. So I really suggest you take a look at that mod pack. It's a really good pack that you might be interested in. So it's the Cerulean Planet pack, and I'm sure he can post a link when he gets back if you are not using CCAN. But I would highly suggest and recommend taking a look at that. It's really cool. Okay, I will wait. I'm not going to install it yet. That's why I'm doing this. So meanwhile, until you get back, I will continue to do this. So Padre, we need to figure out an engine that is going to give us some decent power. Very few mods. Well, that one is worth checking out. It adds a planet with 4 or 5 moons between Drez and Jewel, and it's really cool. He has tons of Easter eggs and everything. If you're going to try any, I really suggest taking a look at that. He did a great job with it. It's a really beautiful planet. Oh, okay, cool. Engineer, alarm, clock, chatter. Yeah, I love chatter. Do you use the one that provides sound effects inside the cockpits, the one where everything rattles? That's a kind of a cool realism one that I like. Coupling. Actually, let me see if I have any tapered fuel tanks. You know, I do want to go a little bit larger. You can check that out right now. You'll need to replace the... okay. Yeah, I'm going to wait until you get back to me with all that before I go mess around with that. So I don't need to worry about screwing anything up. Yeah, we will see you in a minute. Yeah, Padre, if you want to check out the one that... sorry, I'm just checking to make sure I have the right... Okay, if you want to check out the one that adds cockpit sound effects, I forget what it's called. But it's really cool. It just adds like tinkling and rattling and a whole bunch of really scary, terrifying noises to the cockpit, the in-cockpit view of all of your rockets. So I like that one quite a bit. Worth checking out. Let's see what we can do with this. I can open, I don't think opening up CCAN. Let me actually open up CCAN really quick and tell you, because it shouldn't be too hard to find. So I've got CCAN up, so that's why I'm leaving this. So give me just a second. I will tell you which one it is if I can find it. I've got it up over on the other screen here. So let me see just a sec for you, because I want to let you know. You might like it if you like Chatterer. Let's see. British rockets, distant, elephant engine, engine lighting, fire spitter, Kerbal foundries, Malamute, near future, planets, scatter. Oh, okay. Let's see. It's called Ship Effects Sound Mod : Dynamic Sound Effects. Let me actually link this if you're interested in the chat. So that should link to you. Did you? Let me know if you get the link there that you can access it. There. And here's the one for Cerulean if you're interested. Yeah, no rush, no worries. I'm not going anywhere. Well, okay, I'm going into lurkers in my office. Okay. Yeah, those are the scary type because they can actually, yeah. 4.3. Okay. What other engines do we have? So that cost 1,000. That one costs 300. What's our rating on this? ISP 235, ISP 200. That's a little bit too large. As is that. It looks cool, but it's a little bit too large. Viking. Vanguard, okay. That gives us quite a bit, but wow, how's that? So that's super light. I'm going to go with the Vulcan, because Vulcan is a cool name. Aerodynamics. We do need fins on this, and I do want it to be controllable. I don't think I have many controllable parts. Yeah, so I am going to use those really basic looking ones, and I don't think I have any clamps. Do I? Oh, I do. Okay, yeah, sweet. That's going to keep it from tipping over, which has been a little bit of a problem. Hello, Iced Zombie Man. Welcome to the stream. I am trying to not blow everything up, but it has not been going well, and we are trying to science the heck out of this little sounding rocket. And I don't know if you've noticed the chat before. We were just talking about, I don't know if you have any of it, we were just talking about some of the mods that I was using that are really cool. One of which is... yeah, there's something wrong if you don't love a little bit of Kerbal. So let me basically explain what I'm doing here, since it sounds like you're sort of new to the stream. Is I've been playing around a lot with... sorry, I'm trying to talk and point to science, and I can't really do that very well at the same time. So I've been doing a lot of test or exploration on the Planet Cerulean mod pack, which the White Guardian, who is in the chat with us, but he had to step away, he created the Planet Cerulean planet pack, and I've been doing a lot of exploration there. That's pretty much all I've been streaming. I have a full base that I was able to launch there and an SSTO. But I decided that Kerbal makes me secretly 5 years old, and I love the idea of just sort of coming up in my own mind with this progression from absolutely nothing to Kerbals getting into space. So I'm just sort of in the sounding rocket, barely above... you know, actual home rocketry stage of science. Yeah, so that's why I'm picking science, because I really hate the contracts. I hate to say it, but I don't like the contracts that come with Kerbal. I don't like dealing with weird things like send Jeb into space between 400,000 and 401,000 kilometers and make sure he eats a taco while he's standing on his head. Oh yeah, and don't forget to test a decoupler that's attached to a boat. You know, some of the contracts end up getting that level of absurdity, and I don't like dealing with that. So I just decided to sort of do my own imagination-based attempts, and I'm mimicking these initial rockets off of some of the early sounding rockets that eventually turned into larger rockets in the US and Germany. So that's sort of what I'm doing right now, and my big problem has been a lack of electricity, so I'm using those handy-dandy C batteries to power this. So this ideally is going to be recoverable since everything has exploded, and we have 1,700 meters per second of delta V, so I think that should be good. Let's go science this. And I don't know if you noticed, but I just put those little... Yes, my book came out in late September of last year, and I have been working on doing a bunch of publicity for that. If you take a look at my website, you'll see that I've done everything from magazine articles to TV appearances and things like that. So it's been a fun ride writing it, and I basically created sort of an interactive world that I like to work with people and sort of help build a community around writing and creativity. And as an example of that, the White Guardian, who, like I said, is in the chat, he created the Cerulean Planet Pack, but one of the moons, Disparia, is actually named after the book. So it's a fun way to sort of, bring things like that together. I'm not a big reader, but good job. I appreciate the good words. Thank you. But you don't actually need to be a big reader. That's, Disparia is now a moon in Kerbal Space Program, and that requires almost zero reading. I mean, other than the menus and stuff. So, I just like to work with people who are, fans of the book, or just share ways to be, creative, and that's one of the ways I like to do it. So, okay, why does it show 2 liquid fuels here? I must have done something wrong with the engine. So let's throttle up, decouple. Oh, that's actually very some spicy acceleration. Oh, it's just those little tiny 2 engines. What are those? Oh, that's kind of cool. So what we're going to do is try and get a relatively high apoapse here, and right before we reach that point, we're going to start doing our science, because the little Kerbals don't know what's above 5,000 meters. This is all new to them. And that plume looks really good, doesn't it? I like that with the real plume effects. I like the way that looks a lot. This is a cool little rocket. I'm still at work, but needed a distraction. Unless you don't want to say, which is totally fine. Where do you work, Padre? I'm just curious. Throttle up just before, and I am not going to detach this. So let's start running our science. Hurry. Okay. Let's transmit it. Why does it only give me 3 science? Yes, transmit data. Let's keep track of our electric charge. I don't want that to go away. Home automation company. Okay. Oh, dang it. So is there no way to recover that clicking 3-page essay? So I think it's hard to write a book and then get it published. Well, if you struggle to write in any way and you're actually interested in that, you might notice the banner right up there. In May, I'm having my publisher on the stream, and during when I play City Skylines, I'm actually going to... Hold on a sec, let me see. Yeah, I don't think there's any way I can get... Okay, disappointed. I added more electricity, but didn't do much. But anyway, my publisher is going to join the stream, and I don't know how old you are or what you're interested in or anything, but it's going to be a really cool opportunity to ask myself and him sort of, writing, publishing, editing, or just, creativity-based questions if you'll be around. That's Friday, May 26th. So it's going to be a fun little event, almost like a podcast, but when I'm actually going to be streaming games. So if you're interested, added more power, used it. Yeah, I know, right? I need to figure out a way to either use less power. I'm 15. Well, that's actually perfect. If you have any questions about, school assignments or anything like that, or writing essays for school, or as you start approaching college age, that's perfect too. It's not necessarily focused on people who are, in their 30s or 40s or want to write a book. So, I mean, if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. That'll be in May. But, if there's anything we can do to help, I would love to. That's sort of the point, is that, I just want to help people and be out there for people to connect with if they have any questions or anything. Can you guys hear that sound effect? It sounds like ocean waves. Some weird wind sound that I haven't heard before. Huh, that's actually really weird. I'm sure you heard that. Well, rip science. Okay. You know, I don't actually seem to be very good at the space and science thing today. That's not very good. So let's see. Okay, Padre, what do I need to do to fix this? Solar antenna. I would imagine that provides, deployable solar panel, but we don't get high enough. So why don't I actually... Okay, we're starting completely over. We need a... Oh, actually, none of these have a lot of... Okay, this is like... I thought this would be super easy just to breeze through everything, but I'm actually legitimately dumbfounded. The only two things that I can school are math and science, which is amazing because not enough people now are into math and science. Like, there are so few people that are actually interested in that. That's really cool that... No, there aren't any flat solar panels yet. That's really cool that you're interested in that. I would encourage you to keep pursuing that because not enough people, especially from around the world, but especially in America, not enough people are interested in that. So that's really cool that you like that. So I encourage you to stick with that. Me, I don't know how to add 2 plus 2. That usually ends up equaling fish or toasters to me. That's just how good I am at math. So Padre, these solar antennas are the best that I have, but the problem here is that I don't know how much time I would have to deploy them and gather electricity. So maybe we just do more batteries, and then yes, batteries will solve everything. What actually has a pod with a sacrificial Kerbal and then send him into oblivion? I might have to, but I really don't like the idea that they would start sending like I said, I want this to be realistic, wink, wink, as possible. And I don't like the idea that they would just send some Kerbal into space already. So let's see if there's any pod that has more electric charge in it, like stock. So 60. Oh, look at that. 100. Okay. What's this? Avionics package. Battery power module can be used to control your sounding rocket. Well, I think I might... Ooh. That's it. That's the one we're using right there. 350. Did you see that? And it's tiny, so it has a lot of power in a sort of tight package. I don't think it has an antenna, though, does it? That's just a wait, what is that actually? Probe core. SAS, logistics, consumer, 2 plus 2 equals 4. You know, I thought it was either 4 or fish sticks. Glad to clarify that, so... Yeah, that's why I'm a good rocket scientist, because I think 2 plus 2 equals explosions. So let's see, this does have SAS, but it does not have anything to transmit data. So I will need some sort of data on that. So let's put let's see, what sort of communications do we have? Solar antenna, communitron. Why don't I just... So all of these need to be deployed, don't they? This is where actually any bit of help or suggestions on... I need something that can transmit the data before it hits the ground. Wait, actually, you know what? I'm not going to even worry about that. I'm just going to store everything since I'm going to put a parachute on it. Good job me in overcomplicating things to the 9th degree. So, yes, I way overcomplicated everything. I feel like a bit of a dum-dum, but... So what does this have in it? Does that have a parachute? Please tell me that has a parachute. Yay for parachutes. That doesn't actually have a parachute. So I can't use that, as nice as that would be. This... Yeah, I'm going to use that. There is a little bit of a lip there. You see that? But that's okay. So this has control and power. I need to... decouple that. Okay, do any of you guys know where, when you store an experiment, where is that stored? So what do I need to actually recover? Is it stored in the probe core? Because that's one thing I've never actually figured out. If any of you guys know, please let me know so that I don't make a mess of this again. Is that the right... None of these are the right size, are they? Need electricity to deploy, though. Yeah, this has a lot of probe cores. So this has a lot of electricity. It has 100, and I'm going to add batteries to it. So what you're saying is that that's where the experiment should be stored, correct? I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. What's with that one? What's with those 2 attachment points? That's interesting. That's a little big. Yeah, all these are too large. I thought I would have something... I think so. That doesn't look too bad, does it? That separator. I mean, it's not quite the most aerodynamic. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Oops. Okay, so what do we want to do with this? How big do we want to get this? Where are we going to get the majority of science? I think we just need... I have returned. Greetings, White Guardian. So, White Guardian, while you were away, I posted a link to your planet pack for... actually, I don't think Ice Zombie Man... I don't think he actually saw that, so... Just, Zombie, in case you are interested in mods, I want to post a link to that. So the White Guardian is the one who created this planet pack that I'm going to post a link to in just a second. Here, let me find it. It's Cerulean. So if you like mods, check this out. There we go. Yes, take a look at that. Oops, and I am accidentally typing letters instead of moving the keys. So we need this to get fairly high. That's a really good size. That's even better. I want this to go quite high and do many, many sciencey things. So let's... I like that engine a lot. The one I was using, I really... I thought that was a really cool looking engine, so I want to use that again. It was the Vanguard, wasn't it? And that gives me 1,800 meters per second of delta V. Can we make this a little bit better? Why not add 3? Because go big or go home. Right? Let's actually make something useful this time. Yes, see, math is fun. Not enough people care about math. Oh, numbers can lie to you. Numbers can lie. It's called the Kraken in this game. But yes, for the most part, numbers don't lie. Dirty words always lying. Okay, we will have some controllability here again. Okay, let's throw some science on this. Okay, so here's another question to you guys. If I throw some goo containers on here and I store the data, is that data stored in the goo container or in the probe core? Simply a computer, yeah. Does anybody know the answer? Looks like a cake. So yes, where are the... Is the goo containment... Do I need to recover the goo, mystery goo containers, or can that information just be stored in the probe core? Because that kind of determines how I build this from here on out. No, in the goo... Dang it. You know what, then? What if we go like this? Here's an idea. You need to recover the goo. Okay. Hopefully this parachute works. I'm going to try this. No fuel crossfeed. Dang it. I was hoping these would have crossfeed. Hey! Let's see. Enable cross... So when it says enable crossfeed, if you take a Kerbal, you can take the data from the container. Yeah, I know that, but what I was getting at is that this is just sort of a weird little mini series that I want to do is recreating sort of the Kerbals' first steps into space and flying. So at this point in their journey, they wouldn't have ventured out to send people into space since we still haven't actually recovered anything. So they don't want to do that yet. So just sort of the idea is that I'm keeping it, you know, sort of a progression here, and they're not going into space yet. But if I put a decoupler there and I have the parachute, I think that should allow me to recover it. So let me see. Does it say... is there any way to test how much of a payload a parachute can recover? I've never considered looking at that. That one looks a little bit larger. Maybe I could actually do a larger one just to be safe. Yeah, I think I'll do that one just to be careful because I want to make sure I can recover both of the goo containers, and I'm going to need to... Russian Kerbals are getting ready to launch. Well, let's just accidentally put some explosive warheads in the parachute instead and see what happens. Wink, wink. Russian Kerbals. What would they be? The Rurbals or the I guess Kerbonauts is already sounds kind of Russian, doesn't it? Okay, so we will do our ignition. Oh, we need the launch clamp because I don't like this tipping over. Where is our... Oh, here it is. I like this little clamp here. Makes it nice and easy. Sovballs. The Sovball knots, the Kerbals Sovballs. Yes, I'm sure this is mildly inappropriate in many levels, but it's Kerbal, so it's all Kerbal based, so nothing's actually... Okay, let's make sure we've got the stage right. Ignite, separate. Well, actually, I can get rid of that decoupler there. I don't need that since I'm not going to be separating again. Minimize that. So yeah, okay. Let's throw a little bit more science on there since we're actually going to be recovering this. I would like to get more than 3 pieces per launch. I'm going to try and keep it a little even here. Oh, oops. Okay, the big question is, will I actually be able to recover this, or am I doing everything wrong again? Probably wrong, for those of you who want spoilers. Okay. So, other than Kerbal, obviously, because that's pretty much the best thing in the world, what other games are you guys interested in? I know, White Guardian, you said you have not bought a Switch yet, but what other games are you guys interested in? Sorry, there was a little fruit fly. I think that's going to be enough. I do need the batteries. I'm not going to forget that. Let's put several batteries on here. Hopefully that gives me enough. I do have a Wii U. Have you played Zelda on the Wii U? By Zelda, I mean Breath of the Wild. Smash and Mario for that one. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and try this. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I pointed this out before, but you guys can probably see my switch over, or my switch over there. Okay. This apparently doesn't have any... No, I'm going to play Zelda on the Switch, of course. Very good, very good. Did I just forget to actually put anything controllable on here? I thought I put... That was a probe core that has control, doesn't it? But nothing... Old PC games and Myst. And yes. Yeah, I grew up playing PC games. I remember my friends and I in the early to mid 90s getting the weirdest PC games and playing those all night. Yeah, I think that... What am I missing? I thought I had some sort of control on there. Did any of you guys ever play any of the LucasArts point-and-click adventure games? It does have an internal battery. The probe has 100 electric charges, whatever units we want to say that in. 100 battery powers. And an antenna range. I don't need an internal... Let's actually take a look at it. So this is what I'm using right here. The Aero B probe core. Right, so that is the one, yeah. So what... Oh, wait, no, I'm using the 350. Here we go. Placed between the main body and a probe core and battery. Does it not have any control? Maybe I just need to throw one of those. Control. Yeah, I think I'll just throw one of those on. That should fix the problem. Let's see if that does it. Oh, we didn't name this either. I'm going to have a lot of sounding rockets by the time I'm done and actually succeed. I really didn't think it would be this. Check the engineer's report. Let's see. Where's the engineer's report? Which one of these do I... will I find that on? I'm sure this is right in front of my face. Oh, here we go. Command module facing the wrong way. Electric charge stored but not generated. Short range antenna. Oh my, that sounds like a whole lot of bad things. What's facing the wrong way? Command module facing the wrong way. Still said the same thing. That's weird. I don't see how it's facing the wrong way. I'm really confused. What part of that is facing the wrong way? You know what? Let me actually save this and see which direction it shows the coordinates. If it's facing brown means death, blue means good. So let's see what it says. It's facing sideways. So is that... No, look, it shows that it's pointing straight up. I mean, from my point of reference, that... It looks like it's okay. I'm just going to try it and see what happens. Because what's the worst that can happen? A couple of goo containers, which is 90 degrees and compared to the root part. Flat. I mean, that should be how it... I wonder... Yeah, see, it just changed when we say control from there. Let's see what happens. Why not, right? Whoops. I forgot to give the engine some beans. It's working. Whatever we did, it's working. So let's get up. I'm not going to go full throttle. I don't want to stress out the experiments too much. Oops. Pressing all the wrong buttons. So let's get this a nice trajectory over the ocean here. Okay, I'm watching. Let's turn MechJeb. Oh wait, it's over here. Duh. Flight engineer. Let's take a look and see what our apoapse is. So far, so good. Our delta V is empty. So let's remove that, turn on science, and get ready to science the heck out of this. Mystery goo. Keep. Nope, we want to keep that. Okay, let's check our electricity here. It's electricity, or it's transmitting is what destroys your electricity. So obviously this is engineering reports. Good, good, good. Materials. You perform in various structural and biological compounds. We like biological compounds. And shouldn't that have separated? I thought that should have separated. Let's try wobbling or controlling a little bit and see. I guess it didn't. Well, will we get anything from another goo? Yeah, we will. Okay. Goo. Actually, let's wait until we get into the water to do that one. We should be able to do that in the water, right? Oh, that was a thing? What happened? Look, there's the piece out there. Is it going... What's happening to it? Oh, and the engine. Well, I guess we don't need that anyway. Well, that worked. I mean, the parachute did technically work. So we're going to call that a victory, and hopefully this is going to land properly. Don't let me forget to do the mystery goo when we land. So let's see how far we got. Oh, wow, that was actually pretty far. I'd say that was a good, actual, successful rocket launch. Now our Kerbal mates can move on to bigger and better things since they've done something that, assuming the parachute holds, actually works for once. The parachute has not fully deployed as far as I'm aware, right? I can't click on it, it's spinning too fast. Okay, we are dropping below 1,000, so I'm going to bring it out of time warp because you know what physics can do, White Guardian. Actually, hey, White Guardian, do you have the link to that hilarious Kerbal Jello face video that you sent last time? I want to show Padre. It was, you know, Jeb on speed. That was pretty funny. Hey, look! I don't want to blow your eardrums out with my clapping, but that's actually working. Oh, and we are going to get many, many sciences from this. I'm quite thrilled with that. Yeah, the problem is that everything I've been building is just too small to be able to put big science parts on. Did it really break? Did it seriously just break? Did we get any science for... Did it really break? I think it broke. Let's see. We got 10 science from that. 10. Okay, that's it. Go big or go home. Proof of concept, or concept proven. We're going a little bit larger this time. Still unmanned, but we're going a little bit larger this time. Out of my way. Terribly functioning, horrible rocket bits. So here's what we're going to do. we're going to go like this, but I do have an idea. So it's going to be the biggest, most elaborate pink parachute, because why not? Idea that we've had so far. Science, science, science. Really can't believe that happened. We will have 2 mystery goo containers, right? And then we will have, what else? Thermometer, because temperatures, and a Geiger counter. Is there anything else that we could put on there? Does the film actually give you any science, I wonder? I've never actually tried this in a science mode, so I don't know if it gives you any science. But we're going to throw that on there. So what does this do? And see if we can't get something out of that. Ion trap, I don't think we're going to be high enough for that. Okay, then we do want a decoupling device. Is that the cheapest one we have? 400, 450, 400. I like the low profile on that one a little bit better. Assuming that, yeah, it stays on there. Okay, bigger rocket this time. We are going all out, since doing it subtly and slowly apparently doesn't work very well. So this is, the Kerbal engineers figured that they've broken everything, so this is probably a good time to really do something out of the ordinary. So we are going to throw... Wait, those are liquid and oxidizers, right? Yes. I want to make sure I'm not doing just liquid only and going to have the rocket sit there. Okay, let's see what sort of delta V we can get with a slightly bigger engine. That's plenty of thrust weight. Do I have a... no, actually there is not going to be anyone on this, because I am going to go back and use this to make it so we don't have to... Actually, let's go... Okay, so I don't know if you guys have heard me call it this, but I think actually, Padre, you might have, but when we go and get new Kerbal, what's the correct term for that? I say that we are going to the college career fair and we are enticing the young, youthful, ignorant Kerbals with promises of glory, and forgetting to tell them conveniently that most things actually end in burning death flames. But we don't actually go to the astronaut complex. It's actually the local community college. And we search for Kerbal volunteers. So it should be controllable. Let's see. So that gives me 2,300 meters per second of delta V. That's really nice. I like that'll let me get quite a bit higher. What sort of boosters do I have? I wonder if I have any SRBs yet, because we can do a thing with that. The youthful ignorant. Hey, are you an idiot Kerbal? Or yes, are you an idiot Kerbal? Do you need a summer job that is only going to last through the summer? Because that's when most jobs go away, because they die. Well, come on over. We've got a job for you. That's kind of how I imagine new Kerbal recruits appear. What was I doing? SRBs, sorry. Me not think well and talk well, do things at once. Coupling. I don't have any side-mounted ones, so I'm going to have to stick a smaller one on there and just keep it on. So let's find a decent SRB if there is any. Yeah, that's kind of attractive looking, actually. I like the way that looks. So we will do 4 little SRBs with a control surface. Oh, and I do want my launch clamp, just because I hate rockets tipping over and I love the way that launch clamps look. So let's see, it was structural, wasn't it? That does have an attachment point. That is a little bit high. So we'll put it down. Let's check our staging. So we want the engines on first, then the SRBs, and the clamp will go... Oh, batteries. How much charge does the pod usually have? The Mark 1. 50. That's not very much. We do need some batteries. So we will throw a couple up near the nose. And hopefully the right direction. Okay, we do have extra batteries just to make sure. What are we going to call this, since it's not actually a sounding rocket? It's more... first rocket. Baby's first rocket. since this is going from the sounding rocket phase to the actual rocket phase. So let's see what we can do with this. Can't wait to see what those little SRBs look like. I love, especially with the Real Plume mod installed, I love seeing what all of these new mod engines look like. So I can do a temperature scan, but I'm going to hold off on doing that. So let's put our SAS on, cut the throttle, and get ready. We ignite the engines. We will begin slowly throttling up. Okay, and notice, no Kerbal, it actually worked. We're not risking any college dropouts life just yet, so let's slowly throttle up. Hit the boosters. Ooh, that's... Whoa, hey, they detach on their own. That's really cool. I didn't know they would do that. That was so cool. They only lasted for 10 seconds, but still, that was amazing. Ooh, look how nice those engines look, too. So the Kerbal Space Center is happy that they have retrieved some science, even though not one single ship has made it safely. But with a bigger parachute, they are optimistic that they can actually gain some science from everything as opposed to the little bits that they've received from the tiny little probe cores. So let's... Oop. Okay, so photographic image data. We're going to wait until we get a little bit higher before we start taking any of this. So we've hit Mach 2. We passed through our max Q quite a while ago. Okay, White Guardian, yeah, I will take a look at that later after the stream and see. So let's do some photographic data. I'm going to cut the throttle a little bit. Recovery. You take a picture of whatever it's pointing at. Keep experiment. Okay, temperature scan. We're going to keep that. It doesn't say what the temperature is. That's okay. Geiger counter. Let's see what we've got from the Geiger counter. You observe the radiation. Well, what are the radiation levels? Mystery goo. Oh, this is a good time to do some mystery goo, isn't it? The goo seems to be getting very cold. Do you see how high our apoaps is? I'm a little worried that we're going to come in too hot. Okay, let's detach. I'm a little worried that we are going to... What mod is what? Which mod are you talking about? Okay, photographic image data. I thought we already took this. Yeah, oh, we can keep taking pictures, I guess. Temperature scan. Okay, now that we are... The science. Oh, the one over here? That is... That's what it's called. The let me send you a link here in just a minute. I will show it to you, but it's really handy, isn't it? Oh, okay. Thanks for watching, Padre. Yeah, have a good night or day. I don't know where exactly you are, but have a good night and day. And I'll try and catch your streams whenever I see you, but you're usually doing it when I'm asleep or something. So I will try and catch your streams next. But have a very good one, whatever that one is, night or day. Temperature scan. So White Guardian, let me show you that in just a minute, okay? Geiger counter. So, wow, look how high we got. Our apoaps got really high with that. And look at all the juicy science. Yeah, that would be cool if you could add that to Cerulean. Where are we going to land? Somewhere out, actually near an island. That's pretty cool. As we are coasting to our apoaps, I'm going to come over here and show it to you. So give me just a sec to find it. Yep, here we go. Okay, I'm going to post the link. Just one sec. Let me know if you get it okay. That's to the Kerbal forums, but that's the official link from CCAN for it. Because, yeah, if you could get support for that, that would be really cool when I go back and do more of my Cerulean stuff. Look at that. This is worked out quite well, and I just hope that that parachute can support everything, but I think it should. Our electric charge is draining slowly. Oh, let me turn SAS off. That might slow the charge. Actually, that's depleting rather quickly. I'm getting a little worried. I don't know how long that's going to last. Doing science is hard. Let's see. I wonder if that will help. Nope, that doesn't seem to help at all. Trying to cut the electric charge usage, but I don't know if it's going to last for the full reentry. Oh, this is going to be super close. Yeah, not sure how that's going to work. The Geiger counter, you know? Like I said, I have so many mods installed, I'm not sure. If I click on it, it might actually say the manufacturer. Let's see if we can mystery go it. I'll try and look into that and tell you. I don't know which one. It might be... yeah, go ahead and do that, because I'm not sure exactly which one, honestly. Sorry. No, I don't know. Okay, we are coming in hot. I think we might just have enough electric charge to make it, and I'm not going to turn on my SAS because I don't want to risk... I don't want to risk using any electric charge. Ooh, that's getting awfully hot, but we're not going so fast that it's going to be dangerous. Yes, it actually is going to be very, very dangerous. Everything is getting red very, very quickly. Oh, but we're decelerating past... Oh, nice. This might actually work. The Kerbals are going to be overcome with joy and emotion. Oh, actually, I got to turn the oven on. So the Kerbals are going to be overcome with joy if this works. We are almost to where we can deploy the parachute. I think we did all the science we could. So it's set to come at 1,000. We will deploy it shortly. While it lands, I'll be right back. I got to turn the oven on again, so hold on just one sec. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. This might actually work. Let's keep our fingers crossed, but yeah, purple parachute. Did you notice that? Yeah, look at the speed. That is probably most definitely, hopefully going to keep everything intact. The unmanned pod, the first time Kerbals made it out of the atmosphere, so I think that was FASA. Okay, oops, might be. I couldn't quote you on that right off, but I think it might be K. Make it, make it, make it, make it. Oh, we did it. Yay. Let's see how much science we get out of that. I think we're going to get many, many buckets full. Let's see. Oh, yeah, 109. So what did we get? We got two mystery goes in the upper atmosphere. We got a temperature scan from Kerbin and the upper atmosphere. Geiger counter from the upper atmosphere and just above the water. And we recovered the vessel. Cool. Let's go ahead and see what we can buy as far as research. I was mentioning before that I really want to do some plane... Since I'm starting sort of like the genesis of the space program, you know, that's what I'm doing for this little mini-series, is I really want to focus on flight and have some flight tests. So I am going to be getting aviation rather quickly here. Let's see. What else do I need? Flight control. Survivability sounds like a good one. I'm going to research that. I don't need advanced rocketry yet, I don't believe. What is this? Flight control. So what does it have? Gyroscope, reaction wheels. I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to go with that because I don't have enough. So let me take a look here and see what sort of things have opened up that we can build. let's take a look at our pods. Oh, we actually have a Mark 1 cockpit. I think the next thing I'm going to work on is building a plane. Let's see what we can hurry and whip together really quick. I do have to finish the stream up here in about 5-10 minutes, but I will be back on later. And I'm going to take a look at the information you sent me about installing that. And I'm really glad that I don't have to lose all my save files. So I will take a look at that. And I will be streaming some more Cerulean stuff in the near future. Looks like we have lots. Let's see what sort of engines we have as far as jet power. Did I see a turbine in there somewhere? That's the tiny one, but we can do with the tiny one. Yeah, I think next time I'm going to work on doing a basic plane. I can actually start that really quick now. Liquid fuselage. What do we have in the way of aerodynamics? Whoops. Yes, I really want to do sort of the a plane-centric series as well, because I really like the idea of, I think it was you and I were talking, you know, things like seeing how fast you can get in the atmosphere, things like that. It's a lot of fun. And I know what I'm doing here slightly because I built something like this on the PS4. And that's why I'm going straight for something like this. It's sort of not a glider, but it's a really slow, it has really slow takeoff and landing speeds. Okay. And I will probably need to adjust where those are located, but I will do that. I thought it would copy the changes I made. Oh well. I'm probably going to have to put them back just a little bit, but that's not a big deal. So let's work on this. That's quite tiny. Maybe if I can get one and move the scale of it a little bit, because I do have scale mods. Yeah, that is tiny. That's way too tiny for what I'm trying to achieve here. I want sort of like the Delta Wing right there, but I don't know if the ROB. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit later. So I think I will work on that one a little bit later. So let me just hurry and save this. I think I'll work on that next time, because we technically have not done any actual powered flight. We've done rockets, but we have not done powered flight. So that is what we have for next time. But I do think I need to go start working on dinner, so I will wrap up the stream. But White Guardian, I will take a look at what you sent as far as beta testing that as soon as I am done here later. So I appreciate your work with that, and I appreciate everyone watching. So I will continue the series. I'm not sure exactly what sort of frequency I'm going to do, because I do want to keep working on Cerulean and doing some beta testing. Geiger counter manufacturer. Yeah, let me show you that really quick. Science. Blue Dog Design Bureau. So yeah, right there, Blue Dog. I don't remember which pack that comes with. I don't have CCAN up, but it's Blue Dog. I'm sure that would be pretty easy. Actually, let me open up CCAN for you really quick before I close out the stream and see if I can find that. Oh, it is Blue Dog Design Bureau. That's actually what it's called. So yeah, it's just Blue Dog. So yeah, I will take a look at what you showed me. I'm going to keep streaming Cerulean, and I will do these. I'm not sure how fun. Yeah, literally Blue Dog. I'm not sure what frequency I'll do this sort of mini-series with, but I will continue to do that. So I'm going to save and wrap up the stream for tonight. And again, I appreciate all your hard work on the mods, and I'm excited to see what you have created. But I will be back on later. And like I said, feel free to message me through YouTube. or the Kerbal forums. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good, very late night, because that's what it is. So I will see you next time, my friend. Take care and have a good night.